Hello, my name is Nakia, and I'm with Divine Elements of Design and the Decor's Voice. I'm a certified interior decorator, professional organizer, and planning and productivity strategist. And today I have the pleasure to introduce you to David Call.
Well, hello.
Hello. How are you today?
I'm terrific, and I'm so thrilled to be here with you.
Well, thank you very much for taking this time and opening up your studio to introduce yourself to my followers and let them know a little bit about David Call and Call on Design. So first, give me a little background of how you have a love affair with design and how you became this fabulous interior designer.
Well, that is an interesting story, but I'm going to get to a little bit of where we are now instead of going backwards in time. I have told that story several times, but I'll give you a few golden nuggets. What really happened is that I had business and creative influencers in the beginning, right after high school, that is, in the beginning of my design career, that sat me down and gave me a business acumen of, you may be creative, but you've got to get your business savvy on point.
Yes.
Otherwise, you're going to skid into, not being what you want to be. And then they also helped me to reflect on who do you want to be? Where do you want to go? The main reason that happened and that I took that is because I grew up in a very challenging environment. There was a lot of abuse. There was a lot of, we were just quite frankly like Roseanne the TV show. We literally we were living on food stamps, and it was a challenge. The interesting part of all that is I learned from a very young age I did not want to live the way that my parents were forced to raise us. I didn't want to reclaim that again. So that's why I graduated early from high school, had no idea what college was because we were not made aware of that. And I was so thrilled to have a mother who supported me greatly. And she did it to the point of putting me through parochial school because she wanted me to be a better person. And that is part of what drove me, was these influential people. And then, of course, I'm an avid reader. So I found Rich Dad, Poor Dad from Robert Kiyosaki, and it spoke to me and kind of all the influences that these other creative business strategists, when I was only 17, 18, 19, just infused in me. And that is what gave me the confidence to step forward.
So fast forward to today. Give me a little bit of information about where your business is right now. I know you have your hands in so many different things, from residential interior design, having your own product line, the studio, showroom. Kind of just give us an idea of what David Call and Design is doing right now.
Well, we're very happy about the fact that the expansions that we're doing with the furniture line I'm drawing up now. I'm not sure if I'm going to license or if I'm going to provide it privately, but I know it's going to go somewhere. But you're right, the showroom, the Curato Candle Collection that just launched out, is that we're just very thrilled that things haven't kind of fallen apart. Because I have a tendency to launch a lot at one time because I have so much in my brain, and I just hope that I can keep it together. Our focus right now, though, is on retaining our longevity clients that we've had for so long, and then helping them re-envision where they can be now. They're getting in later in life as I am, and it's interesting because I have a keen awareness as to how would you like to live. Some of my clients they're getting rid of the home that we have designed for the past 15 years. They're like, so we want to get into a high-rise, David. So how do you think that could work? Can you help us find one? You seem to know a lot about real estate. Can you hook us into the right building? And things like that. So these are part of what's happening, is that we're really excited that the clients trust us to ask us these questions. And all I want to do really is just guide them in the right direction. And of course, when they sign the contract, let's design.
Yes.
And that is what that's what we want, because it's the juice that fulfills my energy.
And being an interior designer, you wear many hats as far as you're a marriage counselor, you're a psychiatrist, you're doing all of that when you're working on a residential interior design project. I mean, it's a lot. It can be very overwhelming. So what are some of the key things that you do to kind of get to the point where all they have to do is sign off on the contract and, you know, write the check?
That's a very good question, because you're right. Design therapy is what a big part of our job is, and you know, a lot of people think, oh, that's what you charge. Like, no, it's not that. It takes a lot to do design, which most people realize once they do sign the contract. Wow, this is a lot. We're so glad we hired you because we would never be able to do this. But our biggest strength is in the fact that we have a very well-defined strategy for starting with clients. And we do it so that we can help guard them. We're trying to keep them from getting confused, keep them from skidding off in a different direction, and staying with us. Trust the process, and we will bring you your happiness. And that's truly what helps us to keep the clients in a happy place.
Now, I no longer do traditional interior design. I'm really focusing right now on my social media, my blog, my YouTube channel, and my planner that I launched 2 years ago. But one of the subjects and one of the issues that I did have was the dreaded budget. So I would meet with the client and I would ask them, what is their budget? And like, oh no, I don't have a budget. I'm like, well, I need to know if I need to source a $250 chair or $250,000 chair.
Right.
So what are some of your obstacles, or what do you do to deal with those clients that are, they don't want to tell you their budget? I don't know if you're afraid, but how do you kind of calm them down and let them know that it's okay, I need to know what I'm working with?
That's a very good question. We struggle with that every once in a while, but most of our clients do understand when we're doing the first phone interview or a Zoom call that we're here to help you, so we need to know this information. If people are not sure of their budget, I have a simple way of getting them to let me help them. If you're not sure of your budget, don't worry. Would you like us to help you strategize your budget together? And the answer is always, oh, yes, please, because we just don't know. And we do know how much we want to spend. It's like, I understand that might be your thought, but if you let me put together a healthy spreadsheet, then you can take a look at it. We have no problem talking about money. That's our job, is talking about it, so we can get the conversation out of the way, and then we can move on to your nurturing design that we want to do.
Okay, so tell me about your inspiration with Curato, and I know you mentioned you are interested in, or you're actually in the process of working on a furniture line. So
Yes.
tell me some more about all of the different lines and what you see in the future.
Absolutely. This Curato came from my organic obsession with beautiful things. Curato is Italian. It is Italian for curated. I looked this up and I developed this brand and this logo about 8 years ago. I was going to do a shop at that time, and what I was doing is I was harnessing the discontinued items on the websites from brands. And then that way people could get affordable luxury into their home, or I could specify it in jobs and they'd be like, oh my gosh, how is this gorgeous piece so inexpensive? But because of me,
Yes.
my awareness. So fast forward, after my guilty pleasure of beautiful things, national brands started contacting me and saying, we see that you've been going to the DMC, and I've been working with the DMC directors and such, because they're friends and we see each other all the time in the halls, and they're like, your name's on everything. And it's like, it's because this is luxury product. Just one day ago, it was sitting in the showroom at retail. And then the next day, it's sitting here, discontinued at a price. And the whole thing is that I'm a businessman and a designer. I look at it as I have the benefit of this. Clients can have the benefit of getting these beautiful items in the home, but they're never ever going to know that it's sitting here. So I curated it into my showroom. What I do is I use my leveraging of my brand and my checkbook to go ahead and go, you know what? Miss National Brand, who sends me the email with all the discontinued items. I know I'm giving away secrets here, but I don't mind. Because you can do it too as a designer. It's just that you have to have an investor, quite frankly, because it's a very expensive development to do. They send it to me. I'm like, what would you say if I just bought it all? No, oh, we do that, great. Send me your price. I mean, that's how it works. But the interesting part is the Curato items in many cases are one-of-a-kinds. They are prototypes, which means they were designed, but they never made it to the line, but they're still fantastic. And that's what I actually like about them. They're unusual, they're unique, they're handmade. A lot of the items are from Italy. I have a fascination with Italian modern glass. And we have a plethora of it in the showroom. Every time I get a piece in, picture, I send it to clients. Oh my gosh, where would that go? And that's what they tell me. So that's how I developed this. The interesting part is the showroom is actually our previous design studio. And we were not as thrilled with my choice for that studio. So I turned it into the showroom. I actually carpeted it. I did all sorts of elements to make it more me. And that gave us the opportunity to be able to have these items in there for pop-ups and be able to curate together a lot like a Neiman Marcus photo shoot. Every wall looks like it's a different flavor of Neiman Marcus. And that's what we love. From there, I actually thought, I gotta do something different. And I've designed furniture for my clients for years. I've had them made by local craftsmen, and my clients always love them. So I came up with the idea, why not go ahead and create my own, have one of my associates do the 3D renderings and get them to the point where we can get prototypes made. And then that way we can be able to bring them to the market. And so that's something that I'm looking to go into. Usually when designers get to be to a certain age, you either write a book, or you do a furniture line, check, or you go on speaking tours, you start doing all sorts of things. And I imagine that will help you too. But I didn't really want to write a book because it's hard for me to focus. And writing a book takes that. And you have to have a lot of photography and a lot of this and this and this. And that might happen, but all of a sudden I remembered that this is about branding. And that's all that I was really looking for, is how do I expand my brand? Because I always wanted to have a product to make people happy. I know, you should never get into interior design if you just want to make people happy, because that's going to be a bit of a challenge. You know that by your own experience. So it just so happened that there is a candle company out in Florida, and I had seen them at market at the Temporaries several years in a row, and I'd already talked to them about it. I just wasn't ready. And so now we have a brand, we have a logo, we have all of the bylines, we have all those things that you need, which of course that's your specialty. And it's spawned. I decided to pull the trigger, and I spoke to them and I asked them, how can we make this happen where it won't be a challenge, too much for me? He said, send me your stuff, I'll take it from here. And boom, Curato was born. I defined the oils, really it's the blend of oils, so I could get just the right scents. And then they sent it to me, I approved. We got all the logo, we got all the candles, we did all of that. And in a few moments, I'll even show you one of the candles because they're here at Studio. The candle pre-launch was born, and now we are in the middle of selling through not one, not two, but 5 orders.
Wow.
Because with this brand, they require you to order a certain amount, and it is a high dollar investment. And also you have to have a place to put all these candles. You have to label all the candles. It's like having a retail store, and now I've got even more retail than I had before. So I find it to be kind of like an ironic slap in the face that be careful what you wish for.
I say that all the time.
Yes, so that's kind of where we're at in this creative process. We are very thrilled that we have alliances with several creatives in the arts field who want to work with us on pop-ups. And that seems to be something I'm doing a lot of lately. And it's because of the fact that I don't have really the staffing to maintain my showroom down there, 5 days a week, so that they can be there when clients might want to stop in. That's why it really serves better as a pop-up. But the pop-ups are going to be at art galleries throughout the Dallas Design District, where I'll be working with Andrea Reich and then other people who we're bringing in to collaborate. She and I are already collaborating together, and I'm so thrilled about this. And we're able to showcase all of our creativity as a force of creativity.
That sounds wonderful. I definitely need to get on that list. Not get on the list, but view the list so I can see the dates and the times and the locations. Because I love pop-ups. I love anything that has to do with home decor, beautification. I just love it. And the candle line, I posted on social media a few weeks ago about the candle line. I think I posted the unboxing. I don't know if you saw it.
Oh,
probably not.
I'm not sure I could find that. How did I not see
Yes,
that?
no, I did an unboxing, and oh my gosh, 2 things that I
Yes,
love.
I did see that.
Yes, 2
I
things
did
I
see
love
that.
in my home: fresh flowers and beautiful fragrance. And oh my gosh, the scents were amazing. I love it. As soon as you take the top off, it just smells like this beautiful aroma that it's just
And
good
it
for the
stays.
soul. Yes, it does. It does.
You coined it perfectly, and your video was amazing.
Thank you.
It really was. Yes, we're very pleased. We're going to be having the invitation copy probably today, and I'm going to be sending the really, I guess you call it the press announcement. That's going to go out with all of them. I can't even remember all of them now because there's like 9 pop-ups now before the end of the year. And I was at Stanley Korshak last night for an event, and even more people came to me and said, "Would you at our showroom?" I'm like, "Let me look at the calendar. Let's see if we have time. Let's see if we even have candles left before the end of the year," because that's our concern. We're thrilled about this, but I'm concerned because I don't want to disappoint them. I want them to have happiness.
and I think that's an issue that we all have, but your candles as a line, you're not going to disappoint anyone. You're the real deal.
Oh, thank you. So thank you.
So I do have a few more questions for you. Now, what advice do you have for newer interior designers? I know you had mentioned before about when an interior designer gets a certain age, some things that they have to do, but what advice do you have for someone that's maybe a student or maybe an intern, someone that's just breaking their foot in just in the very beginning stages of interior design?
The great part about Dallas is that we have the Dallas Market Center. It is very strongly cued into the students, to the awareness. Ginger, who is part of the drive of all of this, she actually has put together a process to help students be able to engage with showrooms. for me, that is one of the best ways that you learn about the design business. If you don't have enough experience or you don't want to intern with interior design firm, the way that you can do this is to go to the showrooms and work there. Because you're working with wholesale accounts just like the designer does, but you're getting the experience that the showroom is by the designers coming in with clients. You get to see how that relationship happens. That way you can get a real growth experience. You see how, wow, I had no idea this much went into the selection of rugs, or I had no idea that there were this many furniture pieces in a showroom like at the All on Human, Revelation, and Uttermost showroom. It is a plethora of items that are available, and they are gorgeous. That's where I would recommend students start, because of the fact that we have so many showrooms that are out there, and I can imagine that they would be very excited about having students come in and want to learn, because I do think that that is where you'll get an invaluable amount of organic learning, truly.
So, there is a segment of my channel called Hot Topics.
Okay.
And this is a surprise, he doesn't know about this. So what I want is your professional and or personal opinion on some of these design trends or some of these things. So just give me like a sentence or two of each, whether you're for it or against it, why. So,
Okay.
barn doors.
Yeah, usually when I'm quiet, clients know that I don't like what they're trying to show me. I would say barn doors remind me of black and white and gray. No. The main reason why is because they are physically challenging. Yes, houses, unless you've got reinforcement put in your walls before you actually do a barn door, those doors are going to fall off. They're going to pull out because you're doing all of this pulling back and forth. It's kind of like an exterior pocket door. And I love pocket doors. I love that. But you can tell that I have, we're also GCs, and I have several GCs that work with us. So we've learned a lot of tricks and a lot of mistakes you don't want to make. So that's my thought on barn doors.
Okay. Now you mentioned black and white, so the next one is all black, all white or all gray kitchens.
This really comes down to personal choice. I do know of this designer that came to me and said, I need all black and white accessories from your showroom. Do you have them? I'm like, oh, yes I do. Because I do love that. The challenge I have is the black and white that flippers are doing. That's my biggest challenge, the flip community. No offense, it's just that it's too restrictive. And my thought is that black and gray and white, it can be very beautiful as long as it is curated properly. Because otherwise it's going to look like a bad fraternity house moment or man cave from 15 years ago. Because that's what a lot of it was. Getting these leather furniture, everything's oversized. It looks like a Michelin man is going to sit in this chair because it's so massive, the Parker Lounger look. And if it's done refined, but of course with comfort, then I think it's fine. There's room for everything. There really is. I just don't have a lot of clients who ever ask me for that. Mainly, if they do, they're the high rise, because it's got a different acumen for the design. And that's where I find a lot of clients want black and white and gray. We just try to remove the gray a little bit because it's a little too clinical.
What about tubless homes? Homes where they have no tub at all.
I don't recommend the tubless homes strictly because if you're going to be selling it, you're going to need a tub in there. And it really doesn't matter how glamorous your shower is. If there's not a tub, then you're gonna have a hard time flipping this house. And that is the biggest thing you should be concerned about. I mean, homeowners are always worried about money and budget, and of course, resale. So look into a better tub, talk to your designer about a better idea, and keep it.
Great advice. The next one is luxury vinyl plank.
That's interesting because it has become a common thread with several of my designs recently. My clients are asking for it. It's because of dogs and pets and children and everything. And it just so happens I did a presentation to a client. And while I was doing it, she said, okay, I think I want to do this great luxury vinyl plank that you're showing me for the bedrooms throughout the whole house. I know I just put down this tile, but I hate this tile plank. The grout lines, I can't keep them clean. Don't throughout her living rooms. And I don't blame her. I said, I think it's a smart idea. You will have no grout. It's just seamless. And it's waterproof. It is scratch proof. It is comfortable. And it gives you that cohesive look. And it looks like the texture of wood. I mean, it checks all the boxes. So in my opinion, go for it.
Yes, and this is different from what we saw in homes 50 years ago.
Oh goodness, from even 10 years ago, about 10 to 12 years ago, I think, but of course the vendors would say, no, maybe that was 20, started developing this. It has been in commercial design and hospitality and hospitals for a long time. This has been a constant use because it's cleanable. The most important part before you make a decision to go with vinyl, make sure you get a good quality vinyl, one that is thick, at least 9 millimeters. You don't, because the thing is you want to have a very thick product so that if it does scratch, it could happen. But the thing is, if it doesn't show as quickly, it doesn't show as much. And that's my biggest advice. You always want to err on the side of a better quality selection so that when you do this investment, you're not upset later if something happens.
Great advice. And for a recent project, for my most difficult client, myself, we replaced actually the whole downstairs with the LVP and even removed some of the regular tile that was in the other areas, the kitchen and the bathroom. It was only there for like 10 years. You know what? I just want the whole downstairs done, and it is so nice, it's seamless. You know, you have children, dogs, high heel shoes. You don't have to worry about it. So it is good.
It is, and truly what I love about it, and all I had to do is tell my client this, you can Swiffer this and it will clean it. I'm telling you, nothing is easier.
Yes.
And to be able to get that warmth and texture from the LVP, to me, that's it.
It is.
It's it.
It is. And I have a little robot vacuum cleaner.
There you
it
go.
shows up on my phone app, and I mean, she does everything.
Oh, yes. When you come home, your vinyl plank is clean.
Yes. Okay, so the next one, and this is our last hot topic, is granite. So what is your thoughts on granite as opposed to all the other new modern stones that are out?
Oh, certainly. There are so many. As a matter of fact, I was approached by Constantino and some other brands. I love you all, but that's somebody I spoke to last. And they all have their wings. My favorite, however, is quartzite. It's a natural product. It has a lot of transparency to it. It is durable. It can be sealed just like granite. My challenge with granite is that most of the time granite is in a darker finish. Most of my clients are requesting lighter colors. And everybody wants kind of that spa feel in a kitchen. I've been doing it in bathrooms and primary bedrooms for years, and it creates an oasis. They want to remove the gold color. They want to remove that because they consistently tell me it feels heavy. A lot of granites, that's the color tone. It's in darker, richer colors. If I have a client who wants that, then I'm going to go for it, because there are some granite that I love in, yes, jet black. Jet black with beautiful veining in it, that's gorgeous. But it has to have veining. And that is part of the challenge. It's hard to find a granite that isn't made of those pustules, I call them the raisins, that are in the granite. It's hard to find ones that have veining. 90% of my clients want veining. You can get veining with quartzite. So the fact that it's durable and it's semi-transparent makes all the difference. And I can't say more wonderful things about having quartzite. Yes.
Well, thank you very much for giving us some of those tips on, I guess, ideas for the hot topic of some of those older, I guess, trends that were here multi-millions of years ago. So give me some advice that you would give to new homeowners or just new clients.
Well, certainly. As a matter of fact, I'd like to touch on what's trend right now. On trend as opposed to trendy. That's the first thing I'd like to touch on so I don't forget it. There has been a revitalization of the nurturing of your home. That has been very, very popular for many years. We've been seeing it because we want to help people nest and feel comfortable in their home once they walk in that door. The 70s are coming back, and I absolutely love it. The colors, the textures, the type of material. It's going back to kind of, I love plastics and lucite, but also the natural tones. And that gets me into the international flavors that, an international influencer, Patty Carpenter, she is the maverick of international design products. And not only following her and seeing the on-trend moments, but it's all of those international handcrafted products that are coming from all over the world. That is something that I see that is on trend. It is going to continue because we're going to continue to have handmade products from all over the world, from countries that are challenged and that are now flourishing because of the fact of the collaborations that are happening with brands. And with people like Patty Carpenter, because she is facilitating that. And that's something I absolutely love. It kind of goes into what do we have in our showroom, those beautiful furnishings. The thing is, it's all about finding things that are more on trend instead of trendy, and having those finishes and those natural products. But to get to your question about clients, sorry, I talk a lot. The best feature I can find for a client to discover how they want to redecorate their home or renovate is to simply have a designer in for an interview. Have an open conversation with them. It's even worth paying for it because you're going to get feedback so that you can step back and then help. Okay, now that was a great conversation. I never thought about these things that the designer brought to life. Let me evaluate it for myself. That way, if you're an individual or if you have a partner, you can decide together. But lean on your designer. You can be honest with them, but don't think you have to have all the answers. Let them lead you. They will guide you. A good designer will guide you and listen to you so that you can have a healthy understanding of where you want to go. I also strongly recommend that you look on social media and you get magazine pictures, any kind of pictures that you can get, and then circle those items that you like. And so that you can figure out some elements that you want to bring into your home. These photos don't have to be exact. They're just so the designer can see through your mind's eye. What are you attracted to?
Great advice. Thank you so much. So this is my first time at Studio Works. So kind of just tell me what is Studio Works for my clients?
Oh, absolutely. Well, I'm a client of Studio Works. Michelle Lynn Pant has developed this incredible co-working, and it's for designers, contractors, and architects. Also, developers and landowners and things of that nature. Everybody who has kind of that same business acumen. This is a co-working space that has the living room you can see here. They have tables that everything has USB ports and outlets in it everywhere. And it's so that individuals can come in, they can lease a desk. They have our Thermador kitchen right here. There is a full, beautiful kitchen in here. There's a second kitchen in the back where you can cook and do everything you like. This location is built so that you can have events, so that you can participate in ASID and IDS events right here. There's also a resource library in the back. Actually, when I came and when I was starting to consider this, I asked her if I could fuse my library into hers, and she said yes, absolutely. That was a win-win, because I had to have somewhere to put my library. That's the biggest challenge for a designer, is in order to be your very best, you have to have a library.
Yes.
Well, to lease a space big enough for a library, that's a lot of money. So what's perfect is they supply the desks, they supply the printer, the paper, for your offices.
Oh, wow.
And so you have everything to walk in and start functioning. For our firm, we just need a place to function and be business creatives. That's all we need. The beauty of having the complete library in the back, all the resources for fabrics, wallpapers, tiles, doors, furniture, everything you can imagine is in the library. For me, that's everything, because we can do all our sourcing. Granted, we love the design district, but we've got all of our accounts online, but then we have the physical product right here. They also have a complete presentation room right over here. They have a beautiful television that is Bluetooth. We hook up our iPad to this Bluetooth screen and do presentations. We have a chaos coordinator right here in the front, Alexis, and she helps to, navigate this for us. She helps to make sure the room is prepped, to make sure if we need sips and bites while we're in there, that everything is ready, and helps to make it simpler and also a better presentation for our clients. Really important. Every presentation we have done has been a locked-in presentation. They love it, and it's because of the experience.
Okay. All right. Well, we are actually near the very, very end of our video. So I will post, or I will put in the description box all the ways people can find you, what you're doing, and if I have that list of your locations for your pop-ups before this video airs, I will put that there, but it will also be on my social media.
Yes, so, I can tell you the first one we're going to have is going to be on November 7th.
November 7th.
And that's going to be at the Deborah Hardigan. She has an art gallery right near Inwood in Riverfront.
Okay.
And that is where the first one's going to be on the evening of the 7th. And this is going to follow an IDS event at Design Elements that Sandy Day is doing. She is my drapery worker. So it's going to be a big day for design, but you've got to see this gallery. It is rock star quality, and that's why we're going to be there.
Well, I will be there November 7th, and you will see pictures of it on my social media. So thank you very much, David, for having me here and giving my followers and subscribers all your good information. Is there anything else you would like to say before we end?
I would just like to say, if you want to do design, just ask. And that's how you get it started.
All right. Well, thank you very much, and have a divine day.
Thank you. You too.